Hi guys, this is Milena. For a really long time I've been wanting to record a video and talk about some of the extrasensory abilities or special skills and abilities that we are starting to develop individually, but we're not quite sure and quite aware of, and we're also bringing into the collective. These are abilities that we used to have a long time ago and then they got unplugged, and what we're doing is we're starting to bring them back. But when I talk about powers and skills and abilities, it kind of made it necessary to talk about the concept of power. We also have a lot of subconscious programs to do with power that actually prevent us from becoming aware and using our own power. And that's why this video is designed to simply bring into our awareness some of the subconscious programs that we individually might carry to do with power, so that we can open the floodgates of our own powers, become a lot more aware of them, and start using them consciously. And then hopefully next week or the week after, we can go into what are some of those abilities and how we can start developing them. We tend to think of power as something negative because for thousands of years, what we've seen on this planet in a very, very negative expression as power over another person, group, entity, or thing. And what I mean by it's being used negatively is, okay, when somebody has power, that automatically means that they are more powerful than somebody else. And when they're more powerful than somebody else, what do? They either hurt them, they force them to do something that they don't want, or they prevent them from doing something that they want. If we tweak our own perception of that and we gain the understanding that that's not what power is in its natural form, then we can start allowing a lot more of it. One of the ways in which we can see and check for ourselves if we see power as power over others is to say a few sentences and see if they feel any different from each other, because they're very, very, very similar, but it's very likely that they will trigger a different emotional response within you if you say them out loud. And that's something that I learned from my favorite teacher, Inelia Benson. I know I mention her a lot, but in one of her classes, she mentions those sentences as a tool to recognize if we have some of those subconscious programs. And the sentences are, say, I am powerful. And then say, you are powerful. And see if these two sentences feel slightly different. And why? What does that mean? And you can pause this video just to sit with each of the sentences so that you can go deeper into it. And then there's more. The next sentence would be, he is powerful. Do we automatically get a sense of, oh, he's more powerful than me, whoever he is? What if we say she is powerful? Do we get disbelief? Do we get, oh yeah, you go girl, good for you? Or do we get, oh, who's she more powerful than? What if we say we are powerful? How about if we say they are powerful? Do we maybe get the idea of they are more powerful than us? And who's they and who's us? You see, even with that tiny little simple exercise, we can start becoming aware of those things that we hold within our system that we're not even aware of. Where the reality is, every single one of us is extremely powerful. And there's no need for us to overpower anybody. Imagine that you have the complete full awareness of your own immense power. And somebody comes to you and they try to hit you or hurt you in some way or another, and you have the knowing that you can just crush them in between your two fingers, for example. Would you actually do that? No, you wouldn't. Yes, you would stop them from hurting you, but knowing how powerful you are, you won't feel the need to hurt them. Because the reason why we go into defense and hurting other people is because we are afraid that we might get hurt or forced or whatever else it might be. When we have that full awareness and understanding of our own power, it becomes completely unnecessary to overpower whoever else it might be. And now another firewall and program and subconscious belief might come in that says, well, if we're all powerful, it's going to be one big fat mess and we're going to go to war with each other because we all want different things. And that is not true. Because for the most part, we want to have wonderful, enjoyable lives and do whatever it is that we want to do. We want to love, we want to be loved, we want to do things that we enjoy. And there's room for everybody to do that in their particular physical expression that they enjoy. And what we would do is we would probably get together in groups with others who are just as powerful so that we can create that quickly and pleasantly and smoothly and easily. But if we don't remove those subconscious programs that tells us power is bad, or I'm going to hurt people if I'm powerful, or I'm going to be more powerful than others and I don't want that responsibility, then we're blocking ourselves from doing that. I did a few social experiments with students when I asked them, imagine that you have godlike powers. You wield immense, immense, immense power. And immediately all of them said, oh, no, I don't want that. And I asked why. And the answers were along the lines of, well, I don't want to be that powerful. I don't deserve it. I'm not good enough to be that powerful. And I said, well, why? What can happen? Well, what if I get really angry? I might hurt someone. I might abuse that power in one way or another. Or I don't want to be responsible for other people. Then I'm going to have to make hard decisions and I don't know if I'm going to make the right ones. So these are all things that were planted into our head, or we planted in our own heads, to prevent that power. But we do have it, and we do have the ability to allow it and use it. And one of the biggest aspects of power is awareness. It doesn't matter how powerful we are if we don't know that we are. In this moment right now, how can I express my power? In this moment right now, wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing, how can you express your power? I did this exercise where for several weeks, several times a day, I got this question as a reminder on my phone. And wherever I was, I would stop and I would ask myself that question. And very often, there wasn't anything different that I would do in that moment. I was going for a walk. It was simply having the awareness. Sometimes, in a point of an argument, if that reminder would come up then, how can I express my power right now? That was really interesting because it would allow me to stop feeling like a victim, stop feeling attacked, stop blaming the other person, and simply allow the space for whatever was happening to unfold and respond from an awareness, from a standpoint of power, which was much softer and kinder than I had assumed. Because our idea of power very often is kind of aggressive, push forward, overpowering something or someone. When in fact, when I did this exercise, what became a permanent awareness is that soft, gentle, steady center within you, where you're not intimidated by others. You stand your ground when you need to, but you're also very kind and considerate and understanding of others, no matter where they are on their power awareness spectrum. Why we're arguing is because we don't feel powerful. We feel somehow dependent on the other person's reactions or what they do or what they don't do. How can I express my power at that moment? Is to simply be and to understand that the other person cannot affect you without your agreement. To get some help with removing your own personal limitations to power, you can book a session at askmilena.com. Subscribe to my newsletter as well as the channel and click on the bell so that you can get notified of all future videos which come out on Friday. I'll see you soon.